Well, hello. I'm going to show you how to do my Linky Square stitch. And Linky Squares is one of my older stitches. I've had it on my Ravelry channel for quite a long time now. And most of my pieces there are in the round, I believe. But I will put links to some of the Linky patterns in the description. I made my original Linky Squares video and it's on YouTube now, but I think I'm probably going to delete it. It was just to show people who'd bought my pattern the stitch, so it really wasn't a very good video to help you understand it and know how to use it in a pattern that you hadn't already purchased. So I'm going to do a video now that shows you how to work with it. And I will be using it in other videos I make as well. So let's do the yarn I'm using. I'm using Premier Sweet Roll, and it's a worsted weight, but I swear it's as thick as some bulkies. And the color of this one, I'll have to open it up and see if I can find the color. I cannot remember. The color is I don't know why I'm not seeing it easily. 245 yards, though, number 4 yarn. Well, it's the color because I'm having trouble finding where the color is for some reason. Well, anyway, I don't want to take forever finding a color for you. Here's the colors that are in it. So you should be able to find it just from looking at it if you like this color. Okay, so that's the yarn I'm using, and I'm using it on a 5/8 inch gauge, which is a bulky gauge, and is how it's looking in a thicker worsted. Anyway, this is a 40 peg Cindywood loom, 5/8 inch gauge. Okay, and it comes in a set of 2. So that's what I'm using today, and I used almost all the pegs on it, so I used 36 pegs and it gave me this size. Okay, now I usually use it in the round, but this is how it looks as a flat panel, so you come up and have a look at it. Very easy stitch to do, and I'll show you the other side as well. Here's what the other side looks like. It's easier to see on the pink, I think, but there's what it looks like. And so it looks really nice on the other side too. Even in the round it looks good on both sides, and I've made reversible style hats with it. It gives you 2 different looks. It doesn't curl. I've never had it curl, and this is a flat panel. No edge except for the edge I did just turning the corner with the twisty, or with the Linky Squares, and it looks like this. It's harder if you want to do a border because of the way you do the stitch. You can have a gap. So when I do a flat panel, I prefer to do it just with this kind of a border, and it gives you this kind of an edge, and I actually like this edge. It goes with the stitch. Okay, and on the base, I just went right into the stitch. And you can see it's just nice and flat. It doesn't curl anywhere. Okay, you're welcome to work out another edge if you'd like with this stitch, but I'm just going to show you the edge that I'm doing on this project. It's a stitch video, so I'm not going to show you how to do the whole shawl or anything, but I'm giving you enough tips that you should be able to just take it and do a project. And as I said, I have lots of finished projects on Ravelry you can purchase, and I will be doing more for YouTube in the future. Okay, so we're going to start right in the middle of me doing the stitch. So how we do this stitch is, if you are on peg 1 right here, you're going to always work on the next 2 pegs. Okay, So wherever your yarn is, that's your peg 1. You're always going to work on peg 2 and 3. So what you're going to do is take the yarn from peg 1, you're going to go behind 2 and 3 and just wrap them in an E-wrap. Basically, you're E-wrapping 2 pegs together. Okay, and I'm sorry that I have pink yarn, but it's a very long color run. It'll take forever to get to another color. Okay, and I have people waiting for this video. So you just do the E-wrap over the 2. Okay, I'm going to do it nice and slow. E-wrap over the 2 pegs. And actually, if I'm going to do this close, I think I'm going to add a light. So I just put you on pause and I'm going to add a light. Okay, that's better. Hey, the light's helping. You'll be able to see better. Oh yes, before I get started, you'll want to know about this loom hook. Some of you, this is a Cindy Wood ergonomic loom hook. I usually don't like these great big hooks, but this one is just fantastic. It comes down nice and narrow here, so it's perfect for my fingers. And I really, really like it. Very well made. You buy that on Cindy Wood looms. Okay, here I am at peg 1. So I'm just going to go behind and get nice and close so you can see this. I go behind and I'm going to wrap peg 2 and 3 from the back in an E-wrap. Okay, and then I'm just going to knit that off. Okay, so now where my working yarn is, I'm on peg 1 again. I'm going to go behind 2 and 3 and an E-wrap. So some of these pegs are getting wrapped 2 times. Okay, so that makes this go really, really fast. Okay, we're on peg 1. We're going to wrap peg 2 and 3. Okay, we're on peg 1. We're going to wrap peg 2 and 3. Knit them off. Okay, we're on peg 1. We're going to wrap 2 and 3 and knit them off. We're on peg 1. We're going to wrap peg 2 and 3 and knit them off. We're on peg 1. We're going to knit 2 and 3 and knit them off. And see, we're coming up to the end peg. And now I'm going to show you how I'm doing the ends. We're on peg 3. I'm going to wrap 1 and 2. I'm wrapping the end peg 2, knitting it off. Then I'm on peg 1. I'm going to wrap peg 2 and 3. Just that easy. Okay, so did you see what I did there? I wrapped peg 1 and 2. Or peg 2 and 3. I'm right here on peg 1 and I'm just going to wrap peg 2 and 3. Okay, so that's how I'm doing my corners. Very easy corner, and it just gives you this nice loose edge that goes with the stitch. And to really look at the edge, let's see if I get it so you can really look at what's happening here. You have a shorter V and a longer piece. Shorter piece, longer piece, shorter piece, longer piece. It just continues that way. It's not messy or anything. Very easy border to use with this stitch. It lays nice and flat. Okay, so now we're going the other way. So we're on peg 1. We're going to wrap peg 2 and 3 right here. Make sure you can see this. We're on peg 1. We're going to wrap peg 2 and 3 like an E-wrap. Wrap them together. Then we're on peg 1. We're going to wrap 2 and 3. We're on peg 1. I'm going to wrap 2 and 3 together. On peg 1. This might be easier to see. There's some pink, darker pink coming in here. I'm on peg 1. I'm going to wrap 2 and 3 together from the back over the front in an E-wrap. Okay, on peg 1. I'm going to go behind and wrap 2 and 3 in an E-wrap. I'm on peg 1 behind. Now I've used Linky Square with really thick yarn even for brims on hats. So I have a hat already on YouTube actually where I've used this as a brim. I used it because it went with the particular hat I was doing. So I do have a video of where it was used in the round already on YouTube. And as I said, I will have more coming with it. I've used it a lot in the past because it was one of my first stitches. Okay, we're on peg 1 and we wrap 2 and 3 together. Okay, we're on peg 1 and we wrap 2 and 3 together in an E-wrap like that. So we're on peg 1 and we're wrapping 2 and 3 together. When we come up to the other edge, we just do the same thing that you had me see, that I was doing there on the other side. On peg 1, we wrap 2 and 3. Okay, so I'm just going to put you on pause because I'm working around the loom. When I get closer to the edge, we'll come back and I'll show you how I'm doing the edge on the other side going the other direction. Okay, so here I am. I'm on this other edge. So I'm on peg 1. I'm going to go over 2 and 3 and knit them off. And I did it with an E-wrap. I'm going to go behind and go over the end peg and the peg beside it because they're 2 and 3 now, and knit it off. And now I'm on this peg, so I'm going to come back and I'm going to wrap 2 and 3. So I just did a very, very easy edge that worked with the stitch, and then I'm on peg 1, I'm going over 2 and 3. So that's how I turned. You might be able to figure out another way, but it just gives you an okay edge. It doesn't curl. You can make a project really fast. It looks good on the other side too. And I will probably be deleting the other video because it was just a very poor video that I did with my cell phone just to show people the stitch who are having trouble learning how to do it. This one will give you more help if you're going to do a project, and it looks really good in the round too on both sides. So I hope you enjoyed the video, and until next time, bye.